Right, let's go through what we did last time. Remember, we're looking at making mycoprotein using the fungus Fusarium. You actually need to know the name of this fungus, Fusarium, that famous fungus that was found in the soil outside the research place in Britain. Anyway, zoom for the answers to these questions. So hopefully you've got yours. If not, pause it, go and get it, then come back. So number one, explain how the following are involved in ensuring rapid production of fungal biomass. Air supply. There's two ways you can go for this. You can say that it provides oxygen for aerobic respiration or to allow mixing of nutrients. I'd always go for respiration. If I've not written respiration in an exam, I'm upset. Okay, so yeah, it's crucially, there's potentially 2 marks for this, yeah, always say aerobic. It could even be 3 marks. 1 for knowing there's oxygen in air, 1 for knowing aerobic, and 1 for knowing respiration. Glucose, again, to fuel respiration. Remember, glucose is the fuel of respiration, or the main fuel. Oxygen is not the fuel. Despite me saying that, whenever I ask a class, people say oxygen. Fortunately, that's the only good thing about being not in school, is that I can't hear someone say oxygen. No. And then I go through, if it was oxygen, then my car, I just have to push my car to get it going, and then it would get more fuel as it moved into more oxygen. I'd go to the filling station and fill it up with oxygen. Yeah. Anyway, C, nitrate ions. Where have we met nitrate ions before? Oh yeah, that was when we did plants. They needed to make amino acids. So I put here, so amino acids can be formed, or proteins can be formed, either way. Remember, glucose plus nitrate ion equals amino acid. That is not a chemical equation. It's more complicated than that. But in essence, yeah, they're using the elements in glucose and the nitrogen in the nitrate ion to form an amino acid. Nitrogen in the air isn't reactive, so it needs to be in another form. And yeah, if you put, so proteins can be formed because, yeah, many amino acids join to form a protein. Number 2, put the answer up. Damn. Explain why the air must be sterile. Yeah, so this is prevents contamination by other microbes, or you could say, so only Fusarium is cultured and no other microbe. Fusarium's in italics because that's its genus name. Remember that? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Yeah, genus and species names are always in italics, and the genus name is always capitalized. So it'll have a species name as well. You could find that on Wikipedia or something if you're keen and want some needless knowledge. Number 3, Fusarium is cultured using the continuous method. The alternative is like my washing machine, is the batch method, where a vessel is loaded up, left for a set amount of time, and then emptied. Suggests 2 advantages of the continuous method for the company making mycoprotein. Anything about a person or a company, always think about money. Why is it going to be more cost effective? Well, there'll be no time wasted when it is not making Fusarium. Yeah, there's no downtime. I don't have to stop it, empty it, etc. And I don't have to pay staff to do that process either. Yeah, so you don't have to pay staff to empty. You have to then sterilize it with like steam guns, reload it, so it's more cost effective. These are how science works questions, by the way. And then 4, an evaluate question. As the human population increases and more populations become more affluent, there is an increased demand for protein. Well, we used to be getting more affluent. I don't know if we are now as a country. Maybe we're getting a bit poorer. But anyway, evaluate mycoprotein production as a solution to this problem over increasing animal farming. Okay, so I mean, I put these down. So corn is good because protein can be made without needing more farmland. You'd need more farmland if you wanted more animals. You have to cut down forests. So I could put that for a good thing there as well, that there'll be less deforestation. There's no methane released, so it's more environmentally friendly. As soon as you have animal farming, methane's released. Remember, we've passed wind that contains methane. And corn is also low in saturated fat, so it's less risk of heart disease. There'd be more risk of heart disease if people ate more animal products. Not all animals are bad. Like oily fish is really good because that's low in saturated fat. It's really the saturated fat is the key thing. And it's not just meat. Look at the biscuit. Your lovely kind of chocolate biscuit. Look how much saturated fat is in that. It's like one biscuit is like 2/3 of your daily allowance of saturated fat. I'm now craving a biscuit. Who said biscuit? Ugh. Anyway, corn is bad. Why is corn bad? You could say, it doesn't taste the same as real meat. People might not want it. It actually costs more. It's cheaper to do intensive farming, like the more unethical form of farming. Cram your animals in, stop them moving, keep them warm. You can grow animal meat really quickly and cheaply. This corn is a bit niche and therefore it costs more. If you scaled it up, it'd probably be cheaper. But currently, it actually does cost more per kilogram. It doesn't cost more than high quality meat. It's been organic grown meat. And you still need a source of glucose. Where's that going to come from? Okay, so you still might have to need extra land anyway. It'd be better to be vegetarian, but the question is not saying that. It's asking about over animal farming. So, overall, if you haven't tried corn, try it. Again, it's some corn products are quite not that brilliant in my opinion, but others, if you're going to be putting it into a like a pie or a chili type of thing, and you're adding lots of other flavors, it's healthier and a bit more chew to it, in my opinion. I have no shares in corn. Right, memory challenge. Again, this is where you can pause the video and see how many you can get right. I'm going to just go through the answers now. So don't be lazy. Pause it and see if you can do it. Right, which two methods are used to ensure fishing is done sustainably? That's how can I make sure that I don't go and just take all of the fish? Again, we met this in a previous one. So you can use net size so that small fish, the young ones, can escape, and you have quotas. You're only allowed to take this many fish. Which fungus is used to make mycoprotein? Fusarium. How is a gene cut out of the DNA for genetic engineering? That's our last topic next week. Is moving again how DNA can be used in farming. But enzymes is the answer. We use enzymes to cut it out, enzymes to stick it in. Remember we pop it into a plasmid. Why is heat produced when culturing fungal cells to make mycoprotein? Oh, I'm in desperation. Oh no, they carry out respiration quickly. And define biodiversity. Well, it's how diverse the biology is. No, it's not. It's how to say it. When there's high biodiversity, there's lots of different species. So biodiversity is the number of different species. If it's high biodiversity, there's lots of different species. Okay, so it's not how diverse the area is. You have to talk about species types. Right, what we're doing today is threats to our food security. It's like a little bit in the syllabus. It's just I've left last year's date on just to show that I'm making this on the 23rd of April. For some of you doing this tomorrow on the 24th of April. So we've got our 2 weeks cushion. So we're going to be finishing the syllabus next week, and then it's until stand down. We're just going to carry on doing what I would normally do, which is like going back through bits of the syllabus to recap it. Again, it's important that we kind of have your kind of exam ready, even though the vast majority of you won't take exams. Anyway, threats to our food security. So don't write this down now. I'll show you this slide where you can pause it in a minute. So these are my clues. It's getting bigger and bigger, especially in Africa. So what's the threat to food security? It's getting bigger and bigger, especially in Africa. Well, it is human population increase. Got the stats, so I'm not just lying to you here. So these are the population increases. So these are the countries. You can ignore Syria because it's kind of war related. But Angola's got a population growth rate of 3.49%. And to work out how long it took, or to estimate how long it would take for that population to double, A quick way of doing it is just do 70 divide. It's always 70 divided by the population growth rate in percentage. So 3.49. So that population will double in 20 years. 20 years, the population of Angola will double. So yeah, I mean Angola, Africa, Malawi, Africa, Burundi, Africa, 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 Togo. Togo, is that Africa? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm confusing. Tonga, Liberia, Africa, Africa, Africa. Ah, Iraq. The only one that's not Africa in the top 22. Where's the UK? We'll put it around one. Sorry, not one. Around about 0. Italy's at 0.16. France is at 0.37. So we take France, 70 divided by 0.37. France is going to double in 189 years based on the current birth rate. Oh, there we are, 0.51. We are growing faster. 70 divided by 0.51. 137 years. We'll go from 68 million to double that if we carry on going. It's unlikely to carry on at that growth rate because we'd run out of space eventually. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, so human population, you need to know these 6. Number 2, there's more demand for this biomolecule. Plants make this by using glucose and nitrates, and then ribosomes join the new monomers to form this polymer. So there's a greater demand for what's the polymer? Protein. Yeah, so there's changing diets. There's more demand for protein. Yeah, and if there's more demand for it, well, that pushes the price up, and therefore some people can't afford that meat, and therefore they lose that security. Yeah? Richer countries get, are more likely to be able to get food. Poorer countries might struggle. These evolve and therefore reduce the yield that a farmer produces. The insecticide they use is no longer effective. So it's the evolving, insecticides kill insects, and therefore, yeah, it's new pests and insect pests or pathogens affecting farming. Yeah, as soon as you're growing lots of one type of food, then there's a pest can properly exploit that. Again, it was in the news before coronavirus about locusts, moving through Africa. Who knows if they are still moving through Africa, devastating crops, because we only get one type of news now, which is a bit annoying. Number 4, this is due to global warming. So how can global warming affect food security? Well, the ice caps melt, the oceans rise, we lose land. So environmental change, failing rains, you can have drought, lost floods, anything like that, any environmental change. Number 5, these need to be added to the soil for healthy growth as demand increases, they cost more. Yeah, so what do we add to soil for healthy growth? One of the answers is on this slide already. Yeah, nitrates and magnesium. Yeah, so it's the cost of agricultural inputs, fertilizers. If the human population increases, we need more food. Therefore, get into the agricultural inputs business because it's only going to go up and up and up as we need more and more food to feed people. And lastly, 6, the oil price also goes up when this happens. Think Middle East and North Africa. Yeah, so North Africa, really Libya. So there was an issue in Libya, and it's a big oil producer, and therefore it popped the price up. Actually, the oil price has never been as cheap because no one's driving or flying at the moment. But when things that push the oil price up, if there was no coronavirus and there was a conflict in the Middle East where most of the oil comes from, then that would drive up the price. And we're buffered a bit now because of North America making so much oil. So yeah, conflicts and war is our 6th. I'd pick your favourite 2 here if you're doing the exam. And that'd be, cost of agricultural inputs is good because you can elaborate on it, and environmental change you can elaborate on. So yeah, that's our summary. Yeah, those 6 are in our syllabus. They're the threats to our food security. So you can change the date and pop those down. So I'm going to leave you with these. So again, pause the screen and see how many you can do. I think that should be plenty for now, because that's going to take you, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 25. Yeah, so there's a good half an hour of work there. So yeah, we'll zip through these on our next lesson, number 1, and then we've just got a bit of tidying up to do on how we can use genetic engineering with farming to get more food. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit on land use just to kind of tidy that up as well from this. This last topic 7, kind of like maneuvers around, and I'll be saying, it's really good for revising stuff. So yeah, have a go at those questions, pause it, jot them down on a piece of paper, and I'll see you again next week. Stay safe. It's compulsory to stay safe now. I say it all the time. Stay safe.